all the problems I have with AEW. Here we go. Now let's start off with the women's division. The women's division hasn't had a clear, strong angle in forever. The last one was, of course, with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Big Swole. And do you remember what month that was? Was that even this year? It was such a long time ago, and it was a horrible payoff. And ever since then, there's not been a single strong women's angle in the company. I'm not surprised because Kenny Omega's running it. If Kenny Omega treats the women's division like he treats the fucking AAA and Impact Championships, we all know why the women's division is treated like shit. Did you see what Kenny Omega's been doing with his other main championships from AAA and Impact Wrestling? He has knock a fucking nobody wearing it for him because he doesn't want to be bothered to even touch it. If you don't want to hold it, don't fucking go for it. Okay, so the women's division has no angles. That's number one. The second one is the ranking system in AEW is absolute horseshit. We all knew it was, but now I can pinpoint exactly why the ranking system is absolute horseshit. And you're looking at it right here on the screen. Britt Baker right there. There's a lot of other reasons there, but she's a good example. She said on AEW a few weeks ago that she wanted to fight against Sheeta, but because her rank wasn't high enough, she was just going to go on Dark and Elevation and essentially beat Jabrones, and bada bing, bada boom, she's number one contender. That right there, in case you don't know, is the problem. I'll explain in layman's terms because I know the IWC mostly is inept. So, the ranking system's supposed to be that you beat credible contenders to become number one. But in reality, you can just go on a C show like Dark and Elevation and beat jobbers to pad. In case you know what pad is artificially inflating your numbers. It's like playing Call of Duty and killing someone who's not even moving, and his back is to you, and you do that every single time, so your win-loss record is really high. You're not doing anything really special. You're just killing a nobody over and over again. So she went on Dark and Elevation, beat nobodies, and bada bing, bada boom, her win record is really high. The way it should be is, at least for now, the top 3 people that you fight to become number one contenders must be of note. Their win-loss record must be matching to yours, at least. Something along those lines. For example, if Brian Cage went on Dark and Elevation, got his win streak really high, and then, let's just say, Orange Cassidy did the same thing, and then Ricky Starks did the same thing, and then, so now, all 3 of them have to, fight each other or in a 3-way match to see who's the number one contender. Don't just go on Dark and then pad your record and then bam, you're number one contender. She didn't beat anybody of note to be number one contender against Sheeta. She just went on Dark and Elevation to pad her record. And that's what a lot of people are doing in the company. I think Ethan Page also said himself. So the ranking system is absolute horseshit. Another thing is the whole thing about big matches ending with that needs to stop, because you're looking a lot like WWE right there. WWE absolutely would pad out a particular match with niceties and end it with nonsense, assuming you win like that anyway. I'm getting bored talking about WWE. I hate the fact that TNT, the cable company that runs AEW, decided that they don't want any surprises on the show. They want to promote it beforehand. That way there is no surprise. And that way it increases a rating, because everyone knows who it is. But isn't that, a balance of scale thing? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If everyone already knows, why bother tuning in? The point is to tease people into a surprise, but not tell them what the surprise is. If you remember, maybe a decade or so ago, this is for my fighting game fans here, Street Fighter 4 was out, right? And everyone was wondering, where's the third strike characters in Street Fighter 4? Capcom didn't say anything for like years. And then they said a new trailer's coming up. And then the trailer popped out there, and then 4 or 5 third strike characters was in that thing and blew everybody's fucking minds. Evo. Evo is a fighting game tournament that happens every year. And every year, you expect surprises from big developers, be Namco or Capcom or Arxis. And they come out with like a surprise character for them. You know it's going to be a surprise character, but you don't know who it is. TNT is the worst version of that one. They want AEW to tell you exactly who it is and what they're doing here. And the exact date they're going to do it. That's bullshit. If Daniel Bryan was to come to AEW, TNT would demand that he be advertised first before he shows up. That is fucking bullshit. If someone comes out of nowhere, that's great. If you want to tease somebody coming, that's great. Don't tell me exactly who it is. Impact Wrestling, by the way, they decided to do what AEW did, by the way. They told you that El Fantasmo from NJPW was coming next week, aka the past week. I didn't want to know that. It's almost as if AEW and Impact are run by the same company. Just stop with this nonsense. I loved when Decay came out and then Black Taurus came out there. I had no idea who the hell he was. It was a cool reveal, and then bam, that was awesome. These fucking money guys there, all they care is about popping a rating, but not caring about your enjoyment of the actual products. All they care about is ratings. I fucking hate that. Any other issues that you have with AEW, let me know in the comments. Quack off.